We bring in Rich Eisen, NFL Game Day morning host on NFL Network and host of the Rich Eisen Show on the Mothership. We were looking for storylines, Rich.
I'm sorry. Mango habanero.
Yes.
What else? You went too fast.
Okay.
Because you went too fast, Dan.
Mango habanero glazed pork loin.
Oh wow! Perfect for me on the Shabbat. Okay.
Shabbat and shalom.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, you went too fast. But okay.
Now, maybe you could do a show, a Jewish show, the Shabbatim line.
That's next level.
Thank you. Good Yontif.
That's next level. But wait a minute. No, that's the score scroll at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
On a Friday night into Saturday.
Shabbatim line.
That's. How are you, Dan? I'm sorry.
Great.
I'm sorry. I was just taking notes.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Thank you. Okay. The one storyline that the commissioner, during his State of the Union next week, is there an overriding topic that you think, because normally there is something the commissioner will be responding to about ongoing, but is there something this year?
I guess it'll be probably officiating. It always is. Certainly coming off of a Bills-Broncos game that left an owner in the NFL steaming about it. And there's always that. There's gambling, what the NFL feels about that. What else could possibly be? Oh, he'll definitely be asked about Belichick, even though he has nothing to do with it, zero to do with it. And so that'll be of interest, certainly since people think that a lot of the voters who did not vote for Bill Belichick feel that Spygate is front and center for that. And clearly that was something that he was taking care of for the NFL. So I'm sure that'll be brought up to him. I don't know whatever else is on the minds of the media. Maybe Bad Bunny. Bring that up one more time. Run that back.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know, but that might be the greatest hits. We'll see next week. DP.
I remember asking the commissioner, and I said, "Where are the tapes for Spygate?"
Yeah, right.
And he said, "We destroyed them."
Mm-hmm.
And I went, "Why?" He said, "Well, we had no use for them." Wouldn't you love to at least be able to see what exactly it was?
Is that why he hasn't been back on?
I think that was the last time. Paulie, was that the last time?
It absolutely was the last time.
Yeah.
Well, he's looking for the mango habanero.
Yeah.
What grand pork loin.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is all going to be brought up again. And it's interesting because the last time the Seahawks and the Patriots played one another, it was full on Deflategate. Yeah. It was full on Belichick dropping Mona Lisa veto references to say, go ask Tom what's going on. Like that was the last time these two teams played each other. And now Belichick not being in the Hall of Fame is going to be front and center. I'm sure they'll ask RG1 about that next week.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure this out. And as I said yesterday, it's your vote. Whatever you do with your vote, fine. Just tell me how you came to your conclusion. I might not agree with it, but it is your vote. You've earned the right to vote on this process. The problem that I'm having is when you find that some voters thought, well, Kenny Anderson, Roger Craig, L.C. Greenwood, they're not going to get the required votes. Maybe I vote for them because Belichick and Kraft are eventually going to get in. Mm-hmm. I don't want you changing the rules midstream. You can change the process after the voting. I just don't think you should be saying, well, this is how I'm going to do it. You're told vote for Hall of Famers, not this guy might not get in and this guy we know is going to get in. I have a problem with that.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I have a similar problem with it. Listen, the voting just needs to be changed. I understand the Hall of Fame doesn't want the induction ceremony to go start from noon and everybody's got to pack a dinner. And I understand that there's 5 candidates who get in due to, if you will, regular order in their initial years of eligibility, and then there's only room for 3 more. They don't want any more than 8. But basically, if you're going to have 3 senior candidates, have an up and down vote on those 3. If you're going to have 1 coach candidate and 1 contributor candidate, have an up and down vote. Don't lump them all together. And if there's 10 people who get inducted, so be it. But that's a different story. Is Bill Belichick worthy of being a Hall of Famer? Yes or no? Don't say that he's eventually going to get in. I want to give a shot to somebody else. Is he worthy of enshrinement in the Pro Football Hall of Fame? And even with all this stuff that you and I were talking about just for the last few minutes, Deflategate, Spygate, whatever gates you want to bring up, I wasn't sitting there thinking this is going to be disqualifying for Bill Belichick. When his time to be enshrined comes up, his numbers are absurd to the point where whenever you feel the need to actually bring them up to make a case for him, you feel silly doing it. You know, it's nuts that he is not a first ballot Hall of Famer, regardless of the reasons why. And, you know, I know one writer said that these 3 senior candidates are up now. They may never be up again. That's why I'm going to give them their shot. Bob Kraft is 84 years old.
Yeah, I know.
You know, so, I mean, it's kind of nuts. And it's going to be even more glaring with the Patriots being in the bowl. When Belichick's not standing on the stage in 6 nights.
Yeah, it's like an actor up for an Academy Award, but we're not going to give it to you because you did that terrible movie. You know, it's
years ago.
Yeah, like you know, you're Eddie Murphy and you did Norbit. I'm sorry, we can't honor you.
Well, that is disqualifying, Dan. I mean, let's be honest.
I never saw Norbit with Eddie Murphy, but. We're talking to Rich Eisen, host of the Rich Eisen Show on the Mothership, NFL Game Day morning host on NFL Network. Coaching moves? We're still waiting for Raiders and Cardinals. Feels like Clint Kubiak is probably getting one of those jobs.
It's all just a big shrug emoji to me, Dan. There seems to be a now what portion of this with coaches who have been around a long time and have a track record of general success as the floor and excellent seasons that wind up short of the ultimate as the ceiling. And the question is, and I love Jesse Minter, you know, he's a guy who was the defensive coordinator for my champion Wolverines a couple of years ago. He's outstanding. And you take a look at Joe Brady and what he was able to do in his college time as a passing game coordinator for LSU's 60 touchdown Joe Burrow season, and what he's been able to do with Josh Allen since getting his hands on the playbook there. But when push comes to shove, if they are so fortunate to get to an AFC championship game, what is going to happen that will get them over the hump in a way that John Harbaugh was held accountable for and Sean McDermott was held accountable for in Buffalo? Do we know that? Absolutely not. This past weekend is a perfect case in point. Sean McVay is as good as they come. There were 2 snaps inside the red zone, 3rd and 4th downs. The execution wasn't there, and an outstanding Rams season goes down the tubes. Do you hold Sean McVay accountable for that? Will we see at one point, a perturbed Stan Kroenke in front of a gathered media saying, at the end of the day, we just didn't get where we wanted to go for too long, and Sean McVay is now on the market, which would be nuts. Case in point, we just don't know. I don't know. Some hires feel good, some feel off, but I just don't know how it's going to play out, nor do the owners who just made these hires.
Well, okay, when Mike McDonald got hired in Seattle,
yes,
nobody was going on, oh my God, this guy's unbelievable. He's low-key. Defensive coordinator, didn't know much about him, and he's done a great job. I don't know if Todd Monken is going to be good in Cleveland.
No.
Liam Cohen did a great job. We goofed on him with his opening press conference. I still don't know if Nick Sirianni's a great coach. Jonathan Gannon is out. Like, you just start to look around and you go, I have no idea. I have no idea.
Which is why I have no problem and give all the credit in the world to the Packers. like, okay, we know who we have in Matt LaFleur. We know what he can do. We know what he has done. So why are we going to throw all of that overboard and start from scratch? Why would we do that? Now, if there was somebody like Vrabel, who was a complete no-brainer last year for New England to go grab him, and that was even in advance of clearly knowing that they were just going to be 17 regular season weeks away from a Super Bowl journey in the playoffs. But that, Ben Johnson was another one. There was just really nobody that was out there right now that's just, oh, I get it. And we may see one of these coaches turn into Mike McDonald or Liam Cohen. And obviously we'll say great hire. But right now it is, as I said, just one big shrug emoji. Have no idea. None.
If Sam Darnold wins the Super Bowl and wins the MVP, can we take away blame from Sam Darnold for good?
Blame for what? Taking too long to develop? You know what I mean? Like, again, you've had so many quarterbacks on your show, Dan, over the years, and so many of them were like Drake May, I'm sure, where it's clear straight out of the box he's the guy. And then there's a bunch of them who are like Sam Darnold. I've once asked Jared Goff, how long should a quarterback get to prove he's NFL franchise worthy? And he said 5 to 6 years. And this is a first overall pick. Kurt Warner talks about this all the time, that we always throw names out there as busts because they aren't in the right spot. Or they're not performing well in a certain spot, but at the end of the day, they're not in the right spot. I mean, Todd Bowles to Adam Gase, to Robert Saleh with a second overall pick, let's take a new kid. That's why Sam Darnold didn't work out in New York, not because he was trash. Goes to Carolina, there's Matt Rule. He gets bounced, COVID happens, and then he winds up in San Francisco, winds up in Minnesota, who went ahead and drafted somebody the year that they snagged him on a flyer, and he took off. And Seattle is getting the benefits of getting Sam Darnold at the right time with the right coach and the right setup.
But this is why I'm concerned about Mendoza going to the Raiders.
Right.
And I said, this isn't an indictment on him. It's an indictment on the organization. You don't have an offensive line, and I've seen this many, many times. I would be open to trading that pick because I need help. I don't want to find my franchise quarterback before I find my offensive line. You win with offensive and defensive line. And I just worry about, you're going to bring him in there, and he may be running for his life like David Carr did with the Texans.
Right. But you could see how if you draft the right guy and then you draft the right people as well, and then you make the right free agent moves, in 2 years you could be the New England Patriots in Super Bowl 62.
But I have to trust that the Raiders can do that.
Yeah, that's true. This past year wasn't a great first step for the new administration there, to say the least. Yeah. But at the end of the day, you have to take a look and say, we're in Las Vegas. Should we go ahead and snag a guy who's done what he's done at the collegiate level, who we know will be in bed by curfew in Sin City every night? I don't see Fernando Mendoza clubbing it up, and having to be disciplined by having to sit out the first drive like a couple of Dallas Cowboys had to be in Vegas this past year. So you have to make those moves, if you can.
How long is the pregame?
As you know, Dan, it started 5 minutes ago. Why would you even ask that question? I'm late for it. 8.5 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah. So it'll start where I'll have to be dressed for winter weather at 6 a.m. Pacific. And then I'll be in sleeves and sunglasses by the end of the show at 2:30 Pacific, 5:30 Eastern.
Will you have an outfit change?
Oh, I'm full on J-Lo. I'm going to get it done. I'm all set, man. You know me. I have a plan. I have a pressure plan. I got a plan.
Great to talk to you.
Always.
Thanks for joining us.
Back at you. Thanks again. Save me some of that
pork loin.
Yeah, please.
Pork.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll take Fritz's portion.
Todd?
Yeah, I'll share.
Right,
that's cool.
Thank you. Thank you, Rich. That's Rich Eisen, host of the Rich Eisen Show on the Mothership, and also NFL Network host. Be hosting you on Sunday morning.